Hello, everybody. So, you all have been hearing about the Australian Computer Society in Australia bringing about major changes in its skills assessment process. We all are aware of the tremendous fee hike to be introduced on the 18th of March this month, tripling the skills assessment fee. Now, this video is going to focus on reviewing or analyzing the changes that the ACS is going to bring out. Now, I'm just going to quickly run through the upsides and the downsides of the changes to be introduced by the Australian Computer Society. So, first of all, I'd like to tell you here that the Australian Computer Society specifically is the assessment body for ICT professionals, IT professionals, anybody and everybody who has got to do with computer engineering, IT, data sciences, and so on. Now, the ACS is currently working on a portal which is rather old, which was introduced in 2017, and they have not updated it since. In fact, other assessment bodies such as the vetassess have already upgraded their portals and made it more user friendly long ago. So it was high time the ACS upgraded the portal. Now, currently, if you look at the current processing times for the Australian Computer Society, that is about 15 days to 60 days. That is minimum 15 days to maximum 2 months. Now, what the Australian Computer Society is selling with what is associated with the high cost that comes for a skills assessment is the reduced aimed processing time. Now, I want you to understand that they're saying we aim to complete the applications in 15 days, but the applications may take longer to complete. It can take up to 60 days to complete initially, but they do expect to finally bring down the processing time to 15 days. Now, the biggest, I would say, the bait associated with the tripling of the fee is the ACS. Currently, if you're applying for the ACS, you can only nominate one ANSCO code. So, according to your work experience, your profile, you'll have to see which particular occupation ANSCO best aligns with your role and choose that occupation. However, now the ACS with the new system will allow you to choose up to 3 ANSCO codes, and instead of issuing one outcome letter, the Australian Computer Society will be issuing you 3 outcome letters, which could be in 3 different occupations. So, technically speaking, your chances of being nominated or invited triple, so to say. Now, another change the ACS is going to come up with is the identification. So they've been kind of struggling with the identity documents that people have been submitting in support of the applications, but now they will be partnering with certain applications in order to ensure that the IDs for the applicants are more advanced. They capture the exact location of the applicants. They would also be going in for what you call geolocation IDs. So what that technically means is that, let's say if somebody has claimed that he or she is working in a company in, let's say in Bangalore, and is actually working from home in a city in Punjab, and is claiming that he's actually working full time in the company. So that is something that is likely to be traced by the ACS. Now, let's move on to the upsides of the new systems, new skills assessment system being introduced. So, as the ACS is introducing this new software, it is going to be better aligned with the emerging ICT and data science technology. And the ACS will be now providing suitable ANSCO recommendations based on the applicant's responses in the application form. So, those of you who've been struggling with what occupation to nominate will find some sort of help and support there. And for those of you who have any urgency applications, the ACS will be automatically taking up those applications on priority, such as somebody losing points for age and so on. This is something they will be prioritizing on their own. This is not something you will need to request, or this is not something you will need to pay for additionally. And of course, the new software is going to be smarter, user friendly. You'll have better communications, and it'll be easier for applicants to access the information. Now, let's talk about the downsides of the new system. First of all, the kind of changes I was probably hoping for with the ACS were with reference to probably changing the eligibility criteria or changing the validity of the skills assessment. Now, since you know that the DHA does not accept any assessment older than 3 years, so by and large, most of the skills assessment bodies have the validity of the outcome letters placed at 3 years. The Australian Computer Society's outcome letters are valid only for 2 years. Now, since they feel that the ICT professions are so dynamic in nature that they do want to look into their profile and reevaluate their skills every 2 years. So the validity does not change, which is a bummer. There will be no change in the eligibility criteria. Now, we do have a lot of IT professionals who can no longer go in for a renewal of the skills assessment, or applicants who cannot apply for an ACS nominated occupation, ACS assessed occupation, simply because they do not have the taxation records to support the application. ACS, in addition to demanding an IT return for the applicant, they also need verifiable third party evidence, something like the traces form or form 26AS. Now, the form 26AS is one of the major documents that many applicants fail to provide, which is why they either cannot apply for the skills assessment, or if they do apply for the skills assessment, they end up getting a negative assessment because of insufficient evidence to support their support the payment for the company. And of course, as I just shared, the fee is going to be 3 times higher. Now, the ANSCO suggestions that the ACS portal will be coming out with will be based on the identification of the skills that you will be communicating in the application form. Now, let me tell you, this can be a bit challenging. While you may be working in a hardcore ICT position, when it comes to putting up a skills assessment application, you may not be very conversant with how to communicate what kind of skill set are you working in, and you may end up feeding information which is not a correct representation of what you're actually doing, and therefore the suggestions you get from the ACS software may not be well aligned with what you're actually doing. And most importantly, this is with respect to the DHA and the state nominations. Now, since the applicants, all IT applicants, will be now getting 3 outcome letters, obviously the number of expressions of interests, the number of EOIs that will be floated in the skill select system will triple. So there is going to be a clutter. Now, one person will be lodging n number of EOIs in order to maximize his or her chances of getting nominated or invited, and one applicant will be putting up 3 occupations and multiple nominations for multiple expression of interests for these 3 outcome letters that they receive. So I do not see how this is really going to work when it comes to the duplicity of invitations being sent out, and the same person being sent out invitations for maybe three occupations, all three occupations he has floated the EOIs for. And this could be actually becoming a cause of concern with the DHA and with the states which are nominating these applicants, because many of the EOIs are likely to be wasted, because at the end of the day, irrespective of how many EOIs you float, you will eventually have to lodge a visa application for just one occupation, one visa class, and of course one state. And the rest of the states that you get nominated from, or the rest of the occupations you get nominated for, will obviously go waste, and some of the other deserving applicants may just have to give away their fair share of the nomination to one person, the same person. So that is it for now. Do let me know what are your thoughts on the ACS new skills assessment process. For any clarifications or further questions, please feel free to get in touch with us on 78498 or if you'd like to get a free eligibility assessment, write into us on enquiries@caanwings.com, and we'll be happy to get back to you with the right advice. Until next time, bye bye and take care.